Okay, guys, so we are working on part 4 of the project for Science 112, and I'm going to go through that with you. So this last part, well, it's the last part besides editing, so this is going to be about a food web. And this is where we're going to talk about the diet of your organisms or where they're getting their energy. The food web is something that, I don't know, is really important to understand. Remember, food webs show who is eating what. And so I'm going to show you guys a couple of things you need to make sure you include on your food web. But you need to include 5 of your organisms, so the ones that you took pictures of in the food web. And it doesn't matter if they are endemic or native, but you still need to include 5 of them. In order to make a complete food web, you're probably going to have to include some organisms that you did not personally observe in the wild. So you're going to need a total of 10 or more organisms in your food web. You need to make sure those are organisms that live in the Chihuahuan Desert. And then you can either take a picture of it, or if you make it digitally, it needs to be the last slide of your project. So I want to show you guys what I've been working on. I think the easiest way to do this is just to draw it. But if you want to do it digitally, then you can. I'm doing mine digitally because I think it's easier than recording myself drawing. So this is a food web that I just started. Right now it's just a food chain because it's only showing one way the food can go. But I'm going to make it into a food web. And so I started with my organism that I took a picture of. So the cactus wren is the bird that I took a picture of. This is not my picture. I chose a cooler one, I thought, because mine were kind of like, they didn't show the full glory of the cactus wren, so I wanted to include this one. And so I know that cactus wren eat bugs. So I went to, in my project directions, I went to the arthropods and insects of New Mexico, and I just looked up grasshoppers, and I found a grasshopper. I think it's not that one, but I found a grasshopper that looks like one I've seen before in my yard. Since the cactus wren was back there, I've seen that grasshopper. You don't have to, you just choose one that you've personally seen, but I like to. I'm nerdy and I like to build this because it's fun. This one, I'm sure you guys have all seen this because these ones come in at a certain time of year and they're like covering everything. They fly around too. So anyways, you could choose this one, for example. You're just making up this part. As long as it's something that the cactus wren would actually eat, then you can put it here. So I found this one in my yard before, so this is why I chose it. This is actually the most common grasshopper species I found out in the whole United States. So it's called the spur-throated grasshopper. So I'm just making sure that I don't just put grasshopper in some random picture. I want to put something that my cactus wren could actually eat. Now, then I need to find something that my spur-throated grasshopper would eat. Grasshoppers live and eat in the grass. So I went to my range plants website, and I think I already told you guys this one. It was the blue grama grass that I chose. So I just Googled a picture of blue grama grass after I found it in here, and then I pasted that picture into, here's one. Blue grama. Here it is. So I just Googled a picture of this, and I was recently in the mountains, so I was looking at all of these, and they have these teeny little seeds, like each one of those little things that looks kind of like an eyelash. Each of those little parts of that eyelash, like each hair looking thing, is a seed. And so they can get the seeds out of there, but then they can also eat the leaves. Usually birds are eating the seeds, and then grasshoppers eat the seeds and the vegetative part as well. Okay, so back to my food chain. Okay, over here. Okay. Dang it. I have too many things open. Okay, so here's the thing I'm trying to have open. So I made this in Word because I think Word is the easiest to do this in. Of course, you could do it in like a Google image or whatever, but I strongly recommend doing it in Word, and I can show you how to make it really easy to do in Word. So the cactus wren doesn't only eat bugs. Remember, sometimes it'll eat the fruit of a cactus. So one of my favorite cacti that live in New Mexico are the cow, it's like a cow tongue, here it is over here. Yeah, a cow tongue prickly pear. So I found this picture. See, I was originally making this in Google Images, but I couldn't figure out how to put this image into my document easily, so I'm doing it in here because I feel like it's easier and I can show you guys how to do it. Okay, so when you first Google something and paste it in here, it's going to be the wrong size, so of course you're going to have to resize it. And then you're like, oh my gosh, I can't get it to move. It's stuck over here in this corner. So the way that you do that is this little button will, if you have this version of Word, this little button will come out. If you don't, you can just right click on the image and then there's going to be something that says wrap text. And you want to go and choose in front of text, and then you can move this picture wherever you want after you do that. So I'm going to put it right here because I know that I'm going to be trying to get this up to my cactus wren, but I think other things are going to eat it as well. So then I'm going to go ahead and get my blue grandma grass label, and instead of making a new text box, I'm just going to copy Control C and then paste Control V. And then paste Control V over here, and that way I don't have to reformat this. I don't have to worry about finding the new font. I don't have to worry about making the size the right size or the color the right color. It's already the right everything. And then I'm going to type in cow tongue GUE. Is that how you spell tongue? Prickly pear cactus. Okay, so here's my cow tongue prickly pear cactus. I'm going to format it like this. Okay, now this is another thing that happens. When you push enter, the new word things do this stupid thing where they double space things when you put enter. So you need to go to remove space after paragraph like that, and then it'll be formatted correctly. And then I'm just going to make it smaller because like it's way too big and I don't want the label to be like taking over. So I'm just going to move that over here. Okay, now what is going to eat my prickly pear cactus? Well, I'm going to have my cactus wren. So again, instead of making a brand new arrow, I'm just going to Control C and Control V this arrow. And then I can change the direction of it up to the cactus wren. And that way it saves me a lot of time instead of pasting and reformatting arrows all the time. Okay, so in order to fill this in, I need to look at my other organisms. Like, what does my snake eat? I am pretty sure the snake will eat this grasshopper. So I need to look up and make sure that's true. And then I can put my snake right here. Another thing I could do is rattlesnakes or snakes get eaten by roadrunners. So I could put my roadrunner right here, and that gets another one of my organisms that I found. So that would be 2 more organisms that I found. So remember that you need to have 3 or 5 organisms that you found, and you need to have 10 total to build your food web. Now, how do I get this right here, this image, onto my, into my, what's it called? My slide. Okay, well, I'm going to show you guys a cool thing you can do. We're going to push Control and Print Screen. Print Screen is a button on your computer. It says PRT SC. Sometimes you have to push Control and Print Screen. Sometimes you can just push Print Screen. And if you're having trouble on your computer, call me and we can Zoom and you can share your screen and I'll show you what to click on. So anyways, I did that, and then I'm going to go back to my Google Slides. This is my last page, so I'm actually going to have to go edit it over here. Okay, because this is my teacher one. So I have to go back and forth because my student account won't let me edit this because I made this on my teacher account. So I'm sorry. Give me a second. All right, so I'm going to go to my food web slide, which is the last slide. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to push paste. And it's going to paste the whole computer screen. Okay, but I don't want the whole computer screen. So I click on this and then I click on the crop button. And then I can cut this and crop it so that I'm only showing the part of the image that I want to have as part of my food web. And then I can just make it bigger and like center it in here. If you're having trouble with formatting, you should call me up because I have a lot of experience formatting. I'm a formatting nut and I can help you get a lot of stuff like set up really nicely. So then here's my food web with this added cow tongue prickly pear cactus right here. So go ahead and make sure you finish getting all the information on your slides and your food web done. And then you just have to do part 5, which is like the easiest part. Okay, bye. Have a good day.